Hey y'all, and welcome to another Survival on the Skinny with Stephen Kenny. That's me. Okay. Today what I want to show is a figure 4 deadfall trap. Now this requires zero cordage, no snare wire, nothing. All you need is your knife. It's actually going to sit something like this on the ground. Your figure 4 will be here. Okay. The figure 4 needs to be, really depending on the size of your weight, this one needs to be about like that. You want this at a little greater than a 45-degree angle. Okay. It's going to require 3 pieces of wood. Okay. One is your base, one is the lever, and one is your trigger. Now, I went ahead and cut a couple pieces. The base, the lever, and the trigger. Now my trigger is very long, and I'll show you why after a bit. I always want to start with the base first, so let's do that. You want it sitting, you want it to be able to sit pretty much flat on the ground. This end needs to be to a V, okay? So let's just cut it real quick. To a V. You want your V to be fairly level. Okay, see that? Notice how this side is longer than this side, so this will always be the back side. Okay, this side is actually going to face the deadfall. This will be the back side, always the back side. So, now that was a tough job, but this piece is done. The next piece is going to sit here. So what we need to do is put a notch right here, 7 notch again. Okay, just do a notch right here. You want to come down about 1.5 inches or so on your wood. Come down about 1.5 inches. We'll just baton. I'm not going to use a saw. We'll just baton it. And clean that up. All you're doing is making a seat for this. This side is the back side. Sits just like that. Okay, now you see how it's really sitting pretty straight. Okay, that's the seat for this. This rounded edge right here, you want to make it flat. Okay, the reason that you want to make it flat is because that is what your weight is going to be sitting on, and you want it to be sitting on a flat edge. Not so much that it's going to sit right here, okay, but that this is flat here, so that it's not trying to roll off of either side. So we're here now, right? Yep, that's it. This needs to go to a point just like this. Okay, so let's do that real quick. Your point needs to be in line with your 7 notch. So just go in line with it, set up, and do your notch. Or your point. Okay. Just a little bit more. Why not? Right? Okay. Now this is in line with this. Okay. This is what you got. There'll be some fine tuning after we get all the things set up, but you'll see. Now we need the trigger running across here. So in using a trigger, you need somewhere for this to sit. Okay. So you want to put a 7 on the back side of this. Now be mindful. See how this piece is kind of curving down? See what I mean? You want the curving down to be underneath your weight. Okay. So put your 7 right here. I'm using Greenwood. Greenwood works fine, just it doesn't lock in as tight as Deadwood. Okay. Your base, long side going to the out. Here's your lever. Hook to it right there. And boom. Now there's your figure 4. You see it? Now right here, we need to make an anchor for this, so let's bring it back to about there. Okay. Now we're going to set this. We need to put a 7 notch right here, which is exactly 90 degrees to this one. So we're going to go right here with a 7. Now this one, you want it to be a very flat 7, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You want it very, see how I started it way back here? So when I get up to here, this is flat, okay? Bring it back this way. And this is all adjustable. I mean, you know, you'll find happy where it sits in nice and purty and makes everything just as happy as it could be. And that's pretty good. Okay, you see the 7? Okay. So what you're gonna have is square this off right here. So let's find where we're gonna make the square. About right there. So about right there, we're just going to square it off. You want this to be at a 90 degree of your V. Oops. And this will be directly in line with your V. We'll set her up. And there it is. Okay. Hope y'all can see that. I'm gonna turn it around. See the other side. Part of it, when you get some weight on here, you can be able to play with this and get it set just right. That essentially is your pieces. Now this is going to sit at the very front of your rock or your weight. So your trigger needs to be about 2/3 of the way in to 3/4 of the way in. So about right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to chop this thing off about here. Okay, that's your trigger. You're going to chop it off to length now. And this end you want to bring to a point. Okay. Just take it to a point so that whatever you're using for bait, berries, some clovers, whatever you're using for bait, a little bit of peanut butter works great, out of a cracker that, you know, out of your trail bag, whatever. You can stick it on that point, and the animal has to kind of tug on it a little bit to get it off. So now this might not be the prettiest. Well, as a matter of fact, I know it's not the prettiest figure 4 I've ever made, but trying to get you the gist of it so you know how it's done, how it works. Okay, see, it's at a point. So once this thing is set up and it's locked in, you can put your bait on here, and the animal has to kind of pull on it. Okay. All right. I'll be back. I'm gonna take us down pretty close to the ground and show you how to set it up. Okay, be right back. Okay, this is the figure 4 set up, complete, ready to go. See your rock's at more than a 45. I mean, you don't want it standing up, but it's more than a 45. It's got everything held. See where the bait stick, the trigger is way up underneath there. You want to get that up underneath there, okay? You want to be able to set it using something very light and just a really light, just a tap, okay? You don't want this thing to where they have to pull at it and everything else. You want it just a tap. So I'm gonna set it, okay? Animal comes along and he hits it, and that's it, okay? Not a whole lot of effort. Let me show you one more again. Now there's a couple different ways to set these up. I'll get this happening first, get it on the ground, find where I'm gonna actually set the figure 4 up at, and then let the counterweight kind of hold that. Go on and lock it in, and then lock that in. Okay, there it is. Again, the animal comes up, your bait is on that point, and that's all it takes. Okay? Alright, I'll be right back. Alright guys, that's it. Okay, that's a figure 4 deadfall using only a knife, no cordage, a couple of sticks, sit and whittle it out. Build several of these. I can't emphasize enough that you have to build funnels to whatever traps or snares that you're making. But build several of these, set several of these up. Try them out. You know, take a little stick, tap it. If it won't set with a tap, or you know, just hitting it, it's too tight. Just where this is all locking together at, where you're locking together right here, adjust this out to where it's just barely catching, okay? Just barely catching. And you're there, okay? Thanks for watching. Comment, let me know. If any of you have questions on it, comments, please feel free, okay? All right, have a good day.